Hi everyone, it's Michael and I'm going to be doing your new user administration training. This is going to be a very quick one. We're going to do a quick walk around of the bare essentials, the minimum that you need to do if you're a new user to TV for Education. So the first thing you need to do is you need to be signed in. Okay, you can tell if you're signed in because you'll have a sign out button. If you've not signed in, it'll ask you to sign in. Okay, the first thing we need to do is check what your credentials are. If you click over here on that menu button, you need to have as a bare minimum search, catalog, circulation, stock take, reports, and patron management. Okay, and possibly configuration if you want to as well. So you would need to have those bare minimums to be able to engage in what we're going to be talking about today. If you're not, it's only because your profile does not allow you to have access to those utilities. So we're going to deal with the patron profile. How does it work? Okay, menu and patron, and we go to patron management. Now, when you go to patron management and when you're logged in, as long as you've logged in as an administrator, you need to see your role. You'll come up with your record. You need to see your role and has an administrator in there. Or alternatively, you might have librarian in there. Okay. If you don't have either of those two or both of them, then you're not an administrator and you need to see the administrator or you need to contact us. If you're new to the system, this button down here on the bottom right hand side is for new users. When you click on that, okay, it's a chat channel, except it's not machine chat. It's actually one of our staff who are monitoring this all the time. Okay, so we have a group of staff who will be on help desk, but one of them is assigned to dedicate and monitor that. Okay, so you can put your query in there and they're more than happy to help you. The other alternative is, okay, let me just cancel out of here. So I'm just going to go cancel. Okay, sure you want to close this? We go, yep. So you can click on menu. You can come down to mailbox. Okay, and in the mailbox, you can put in a query to talk to us and go create a ticket and tell us the subject, tell us the information, hit the rocket, and that's how you would communicate to us. Okay, however, we're going to be dealing with the patron record and how to set up a patron manually. So in here, we go to patron, we go to patron management. Okay, and if you want to find the patron, at the bottom of your screen is the find. Find who? Find Smith. Okay, and there's all your Smiths come up. Okay, or you can say, no, I want to find Mike. So instead of Smith, surname, Mike, and it'll come up with all the Mikes in the system. Okay, and once you find the person you want, just click on them and their record will come up. Okay, and you can change and do whatever you like to that particular patron. However, you need to add a new patron, so we'll just go new. It'll give us a blank screen and we'll put in the patron's barcode. My recommendation, if you don't already do it, why not use their admin number as their barcode? That's where the kid doesn't have to remember more than one number. So my barcode is 13579. Okay, and then the first name is going to be Randolph. Okay, and his surname is Synopsis. Okay, and then his email address will be Randolph S at dot. Okay, so whatever their school email address is, you need to give him a class grade. So he's in year 10 because that's his borrowing limits are coming from his class grade. You need to put him in a homeroom. And if you haven't got a homeroom, you still need to select one. So select not applicable. Okay, but the system needs that. And by default, it'll be given a role of a student, which means that they can only search. Okay, and now go save. All right, password's not set, so it's going to give it an automatic password, which we'll deal with in a minute. But you say, what about the username? Well, you can create one. So Randolph.s, or put in their surname .r, or whatever username you want to give them. That's entirely up to you. And why would we do that? Because now Randolph can log in using that, or using a username, or using an email address. Entirely up to Randolph. Okay, but he has to have a password. So let's go change password. And the password, my recommendation, give everyone the same password, which is password, all in lowercase, PASSWORD and PASSWORD, and go change password. So now that's their password, except at the bottom, change password, next login, yes. And now you can go save. Okay. If you have a photograph of Randolph, why don't you click upload and then find where his photo is. And when you click on it and go open, what will happen is his photograph will automatically be uploaded and tied to this particular record, not to that particular username or surname or whatever, but to this record. So if you ever change his barcode or his username, don't worry about it. That photograph will still come up. Okay. What you can also do is you can turn around and say, oh, if I've got an email address, does that mean that I can automatically send overdues to that email address? So if it's 30 days in a 30-day letter, if it's 60 days in a 60-day letter, absolutely. And what you can also do is put all the parent information in there, the first parent's email and the second parent's email in there. And then what we will do for you is we will make sure that we will also send overdues to the parents if that's what you want. But if that's all there is to it, just hit save and that record's saved. Or if the patron has left, you don't want him anymore, just hit delete. And it says, are you sure? And I go, yeah. So now Randolph's deleted out of the system. That's all there is to adding a patron, changing a patron, deleting a patron. But you say, yeah, but I've got 1,000 patrons. Do I have to put them on one by one? Not really. Menu, patron, and then you go to Smart Patron Import. And honestly, this is the most fantastic, easy to use, simple patron import that you can import from anywhere. And of course, if you want to do that, you can watch the tutorial. You can also watch a lot of our help articles. Do you have help articles? Absolutely. Where do I go for the help articles? Whatever page you're on, if you hit the help button here, it'll bring up help appropriate to that. But if you're new, why not go to YouTube? Okay. And on the YouTube search bar in here, just click there and type in SmartSuite space library. Okay. And this is where you'll get help articles on just about any and everything. You'll even get different versions of the training session that's in the system. Some made by myself, others made by other staff members, so you can get a different aspect, different perspective on that. Okay, so you can certainly go down here and look for SmartSuite articles on anything that you like. Okay, so now we're going to go into cataloging. How do I add records to the system? Well, that's really, really easy. Okay, before you do it, there's certain fundamentals that you need to set up, and you need to set up the cataloging parameters. So something like SKIS. So before you do anything, or if you're having issues with importing from SKIS, there's every possibility that your SKIS username and password is wrong. How do you do it? Menu, catalog, and go down to global catalog. When you go down to the global catalog, what you need to do is you need to go down the bottom. Don't hit that button, the configuration, but hit the up arrow next to it and go Z3950 database. Click on that and look for the SKIS entry up in here. I've got SKIS. Make sure you put in your password and make your username, and make sure you put in your password, and then go update or save. Okay. Once you do that, you're now in a position to catalog. But I've only got one book and I just want to catalog that book. So how do I catalog it? Okay, so let's first go into catalog screen. So catalog and catalog. And this is where you can catalog absolutely any object, any digital item that moves or is loaned to anybody, including the photocopier that sits in the corridor or the photocopier that sits in the main office. Okay, so all your assets, and by assets, I don't mean just the furniture or the photocopier or the laptops. I mean the books, the textbooks, anything that the school has paid money for, they should be entered in here. Okay, so we're going to deal with cataloging a book. So to do that, let me just go and bring up an ISBN number. So let's go and do a find and find cat and any book here. So let's grab this one here. Okay, and I'm going to grab the ISBN number. Okay, so there's my ISBN number. Okay, and now I want to catalog a new book. Now, to catalog a new book, you just click new. It gives you a blank screen, and you fill in the information that you want in whatever order you want. Nothing is set and designed that you have to do it in this particular order. You can even change the order of your screen. Okay, click on that cog and you can turn around and say, you know what, I don't want the copy button here. I want it sort of after I put in the subject before the digital information. So you can move stuff around there, and then if you hit save, that keeps that cataloging screen like that. Now, if I want to add a new book, I just type in here, put in the title, put in the ISBN number, put in the security number, the collation, media type, then go to the editor, put in the editor, go to additional titles, go to subjects, do all those sorts of stuff. Or why not just zap in the ISBN number? There's my ISBN number, and then hit that button. If it exists on SKIS, guess what? It will go to SKIS and it will automatically bring it in, and there it is. Can you check it? Yeah, let's have a look at the additional title. Yep, that's the additional. So that's the title, How to Draw Cartoons. The additional title is Cartoons, Cats, Kittens, and Lions. Okay, have a look at the editor. There is none. Have a look at the subjects or the genre or the illustrator or the subject. Now, if you want to add a copy to it, all you need to do is go down to the copy area and then zap in your barcode. So here goes. That's my barcode. Okay, put in the call number if you want, the status, it's available, the location, the sublocation, the loan period, the renewal period. If that's all there is to it, save. Now, if there is a information that you absolutely must have and you haven't put it in, the system's going to tell you. It's pretty much foolproof. So it's saying the media cannot be blank. Let's go back to the start. Oh, there's the media type. Ah, this is a book. Okay, so just put in the media type. Now let's go save. And that's it. But let's pretend that this was not a book. It was a laptop. So if it's a laptop or a digital item that has a serial number, you can click on the copy, and then where the barcode is, after you've gone and saved the record, just expand that, and you can go into the asset register, and guess what? You can put everything about this individual asset in there. And you've got a nice little asset register running in the background that you can run reports off. You can say, oh, but this photocopier, we've just had some maintenance done on it. Click on the maintenance, and you can put all your maintenance information about it in there. Pretty fantastic. Nice and simple, totally inclusive. And you're not paying extra for all these other bits and pieces that other vendors charge you for. With SmartSuite-Library, it's all included, and you choose your level of engagement. Okay, all right, that's very well and good, but I've got 100 books to catalog. So do you mean to say I have to go new, put in an ISBN number, click that button, then go to barcode and put it in there, then click new, put in the ISBN? No, you don't have to do any of that. So if you've got 100 books, click on menu, click on catalog, click on global catalog. And this is the best thing about SmartSuite-Library. We make things so intuitive, and we cut the librarian's load. So you can do the things that librarians need to do, and that is research and supporting your teachers and your students. So this is our SKIS cataloging screen. Okay, so before you catalog, check out, are the books that you're going to do, what are they? Are they fiction, non-fiction? Are they textbooks? Are they just book, or how do you want to describe them? You put your media type there, okay? Put in the location, put in the sublocation, put in the loan period, put in the renewal period, set the copy status as available. If there is a cost center, so it came out of the library budget, put in the library budget. If you know that these 3 books out of the 100 came from ABC Books, type in ABC Books. If you know the price of the first book, put the cost in there, put the replacement cost in there, and then all you do is you zap in the ISBN number and you then put in the barcode. Okay, and then you put, if all these parameters on the left are the same, put in the next ISBN number. Okay, and then put in the next barcode. You don't have to wait for it, you just go ahead. Okay, and then you can put in the next ISBN number, and then the next barcode, and the next ISBN number, and the next barcode, and the next ISBN number, and guess what? You're off and running, and that's all there is to it. What happens if it doesn't exist on SKIS? Well, let me just make up an ISBN number and show you what happens. If it doesn't exist on SKIS, you'll just get an error to say, it doesn't exist on SKIS. Don't worry about it. Just pull it out, put in a bundle that says not on SKIS yet. And then you go ahead and carry on. And you might want to come back and recatalog that or try and catalog it in another 2 or 3 days. And if it's still not there, you can then manually catalog it if you want. And that's all there is to it. Now, when you finish, you could have gone before starting your cataloging ever, the first time, you could have gone here. Remember how we put in the SKIS username and password? You could have gone to the barcode, the spine labels, okay? And if you choose any one of these labels, 12603, Rayco 12603, pretty standard. If you choose any one of those, okay, what happens is once you've cataloged all your books, if you just hit that print button, guess what? You don't have to go to a reports menu and print it out, or go to a typewriter, or go to a word processor, or go to some label system, and it's just there. You can say, yeah, but I reuse my label paper. So what happens if I used 17 labels? Well, tell it. You've used 17 labels and just go generate. And guess what? It started printing at label number 18. Simple, isn't it? Really easy, very simple, very intuitive, and gives you time to do library stuff. So, SKIS cataloging is really easy. Next thing we're going to do is circulation. Circulation is even easier. We start off with the hard part of how do I create a patron, okay, which really wasn't that hard, but we're getting easier and more functional as we go along. So to go to circulation, you just click on circulation and it's already in checkout and you're ready to go. So kids are lining up. All you need to do is zap in their patron barcode. Oh, but I don't have that. I used to have a list somewhere and I don't know where that is. Well, how about you just type in Smith and choose the Smith from that list. Okay. And if they've got loans like this person here, there they are. And then all you do is you go and enter the barcode that they're borrowing. That's the book they're borrowing. Okay. Now, if the barcode doesn't exist, it'll tell you that, oh, it doesn't exist. So let's go and put in another item. And if there's issues with that book, it says it's marked as on loan. Well, it can't be because I've got it in my hand because some kid has not checked it in. They've just put it back on the shelf. So it says it's on loan. Do you want me to continue? You go, yes. So it'll automatically check it in from whoever had it on loan and automatically check it out. And that's it. If you want another patron, instead of going Smith, just type in S and it'll give you everyone with S. And you can go to the next page and the next page and until you find the person with S and then just choose that person. Okay, and there it is. Adonai is up there. And you check in the next book to them. And that's all there is to checking stuff out. So when I typed in S, was it the first name or the surname? Well, it really doesn't matter. As long as the name starts with S, it's going to bring it up. Okay, so you don't even have to define that. If you want to return books, click on return. And in here, you'll go check on that book. And if there's issues with it, it'll tell you. You just go, yeah, okay. Then the next book, okay, issue with that one. And then the next book, okay. And so it's saying, oh, this is already available. Okay, so someone took it out without checking it out. And that's fine. Oh, and someone wants to borrow, click on loans. you're back on loans again. It literally is that simple. Okay, returns and loans. You can do a heck of a lot more. Okay, but this is new user. We just want to keep it simple, get you up and running, and we'll do an advanced training for you later. If you've got any questions, just ask them on the side, and I'll keep monitoring the question page and I will address it for you. Now, we've done patrons, we've done cataloging, we've done circulation. What about overdues? How do I do overdues? Well, actually, if all your students had email addresses, we can set it up so that you never have to do overdues, and the overdue system will automatically just run. So if people had books that were 30 days, they'll get a particular kind of a letter. If it's more than 30 days but under 60, they get a different letter. If it's over 60 and under 90, they get a totally different letter. If it's over 90 days, you might send a letter to mom and dad. It's automatic. And if it's over 120, how about we send them an invoice and send a copy of the invoice to the main office as well? We can do all those sorts of things. So talk to us about what you want to do with your overdues and how you want to run it and how to schedule it. So we can schedule it for you. We can show you how to schedule it so you can schedule it yourself, and you can change the schedule anytime you like. But just for information, running any kind of report, including overdues, is very simple. Menu, reports, and reports. Now, there are two sections to the reports menu. There's the reports created by Functional Solutions International and reports created by me. That's you, the end user, the librarian, the library assistant, the teacher librarian, the teacher. So if you want to take any report, you can edit it, change it, sort it, do whatever you like to that report. And if you did anything to it, it will automatically appear on the bottom. Okay. In this case, we're just talking about current loans or overdues. We'll do current loans. Current loans, loans by classification, by homeroom, by loan, we can, and even if there is a loan that you want to do that is not here, it's very easy. Okay, that goes into a little bit of advanced report writing, but talk to us and we are more than happy to direct you to a video that you can just spend 10 minutes looking at and then try it yourself, or we can walk you through it yourself. So, loans by classification, which class? And I want year 12s. Okay, and let's go generate. There it is. And now I can print it, or I can export it as a CSV, or I can export it as a PDF, or I can even email it. Okay, and all the reports are like that. So, what about end of day procedures, end of week procedures, end of month procedures? What about housekeeping? What about all these other things that I need to do? Well, it's Smart Suite. That's why we call it Smart. There's nothing. It's zero. You just do all your library functions and leave the system's operations to the system, and it will look after it and it will take care of it. Okay, so we've shown you how to set up your parameters and how to uh, catalog and how to circulate and how to do overdues. But you say, oh, my authority files are a bit of a mess and I'd like to sort of tidy them up. Well, you can. Simple. Okay. Now you're getting advanced. So go to your configuration, go to your authority files if you want to check it. And the first thing that you should be checking in your authority files as a new user is all your borrowing parameters. Okay. And this is a good place to start. So it's alphabetical, so you always get audience up the top. But if you click that class grade, that's where all your borrowing parameters are. Okay, click on that, and there's all your year levels. Okay, now if you're looking at the 07s, if you click the pencil, it'll say the sevens have a security of 7, their final borrowing date is that. If it's not, change it. Their expiry date is that. If it's not, change it. Their loan period, their loan limit, how many they can borrow, how long they can borrow for, how many times they can renew their books on the web if you allow them to do their own renewals, and if they renew a book, how long do they renew it for? Can they have multiple copies of the same book? And if I said that they can borrow for 90 days, but the book is only a 7 day or an overnight loan, can they override what the book limit is? Yes, they can. That's why you put that tick that says the patron limit override the book limit. That's what that is all about. Okay. And then don't forget to hit save. So you can start with your class grades and have a look, but have a look at all the other authority files in there. You cannot damage the system, so we'd encourage you to experiment and go about doing whatever it is you need to do to make sure that you embrace the system as if it is your system. Okay. And bear in mind that if you're trying to venture out and do something that you think might have an effect on the database and you might want to reverse it, give us a call before and just say to us, can you just back it up? I'm going to do a stock take, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do something, and I'm not sure, and I don't want to damage my system. So have a chat to us, tell us what you're trying to do, and we'll take a backup of it so we can roll it back immediately after you finish or immediately after you discover you've had an issue with the system. Okay? We're here for support. We're all about support. We love support. So please make sure you contact us using the mailbox. Okay? And if you're an administrator, if other people are using the mailbox, other teachers, other teacher librarians, other users on your system, we'll keep you notified by CCing you on all the questions that come in and all the answers we give them. So we keep you up to date with everything. Thank you very much for this opportunity to present in a very, very quick way an introduction to SmartSuite administration users and the things that you would need to do, come across, must do, should do, and must know. Thank you very much. It's Michael signing off.